Ethan awoke in the middle of the night, sweat on his forehead. In his dreams, Bryson stood before him, not a ghost, but whole, alive. "Help me, Ethan," Bryson's voice pleaded. "I can come back, but I need you." Ethan sat up, shaken. "Come back? That's impossible." But deep in the force, he felt it, a tether forming, something unnatural. The next day, Ethan traveled to the Ossus archives, where he found Silver already meditating. "Master," Ethan said carefully, "do you believe someone can return from the netherworld of the Force?" Silver opened his eyes, his expression instantly dark. "Where did you hear that?" Ethan hesitated. "From Bryson." Silver rose, furious. "No, absolutely not. He already sacrificed everything once. That is final." "Master, what if he deserves another chance?" Ethan asked. Silver's voice cracked, full of anger and buried grief. "He doesn't deserve to die twice, and if he tries, it will destroy him." That night, Ethan returned to his quarters and activated a restricted Jedi holocron, a Sith artifact hidden in the archives. Bryson's ghost appeared, more solid than ever. "I found a way," Bryson said. "A Force Nexus on Malachor. Its power can restore me, but I need you to take me there." Ethan stared at him, torn. "If Silver finds out, he'll stop us," Bryson interrupted. "But this is my choice. Don't let him stop me again." The door slid open behind them. Silver stood there, golden saber ignited. "Enough!" Bryson turned, his ghostly form flickering. "Master, please, I need this." Silver's voice was cold. "You died to save us. That was redemption. Coming back will undo everything." Bryson's form stepped closer, almost tangible. "I'm tired of being a shadow. I want to live again." Silver's hands trembled, his anger barely contained. "You don't understand what that will cost." Bryson's ghost stared at him, quiet for a moment, then whispered, "If you won't help me, I'll find someone who will." The ghost vanished, leaving Silver and Ethan alone. Silver turned on his Padawan, voice like stone. "Pack your things. We're leaving for Malachor." Ethan blinked. "So we're stopping him." Silver's eyes hardened. "We're stopping him, or ending him for good."
The planet Malachor was a wound in the Force. Ashen skies, shattered spires, and a massive ancient temple pulsing with dark energy. Silver's ship landed on the cracked surface, its engines whining as if reluctant to stay. Silver stepped out, golden saber at his side, Ethan following behind. The Force screamed louder than it ever had, like the planet itself was in pain. "Master," Ethan whispered, "he's here." Inside the temple, Bryson stood within a circle of ancient Sith runes, his ghostly form flickering. But now, it was changing. Shadows crawled across his transparent body, filling him with substance, muscle, and breath. "Bryson, stop!" Silver's voice echoed through the temple. Bryson turned, now more solid than ghost, eyes burning like twin suns. "I'm almost free, Master. I can live again. I can make it right." Silver stepped forward. "You already made it right when you sacrificed yourself. Don't undo it." Bryson extended his arms, energy flooding into him from the temple nexus. The air thickened, gravity shifting unnaturally. Ethan staggered. "The whole planet's shaking." The ground split as Malachor itself responded, ancient structures crumbling. Lightning erupted across the sky, arcs of crimson energy connecting to Bryson's body. His voice deepened, layered with power. "I am alive?" Bryson collapsed forward, now fully human again, breathing hard. He looked at his hands, flexing his fingers in disbelief. "I can feel everything." Silver grabbed his shoulder. "What have you done?" Bryson looked up, fear replacing joy. The temple walls glowed, runes igniting. I think I woke something up." The ground split again, this time violently. The planet itself shuddered, its core pulsing with unnatural life. Across the galaxy, Force-sensitive beings fell to their knees as a single terrifying pulse rippled through space. On Coruscant, Jedi Masters gasped. On Korriban, Sith cultists screamed with joy. The galaxy felt it. Something had returned that was far bigger than Bryson. Bryson stumbled, clutching his head as dark energy bled off him like smoke. It's inside me. Something else came back with me. Silver ignited his golden saber, eyes wide with dread. You didn't just bring yourself back. You opened a door. The temple shook violently, and from deep below, a voice not belonging to Bryson echoed, "Free!" At last,
The temple ceiling cracked as debris crashed down, sparks and dust filling the air. Silver planted his feet, golden saber blazing, while Bryson clutched his head, screaming as the unnatural energy inside him surged out in chaotic waves. "Something's inside him!" Silver shouted over the roar of the collapsing temple. "Stay back, Ethan!" But Ethan ignored him, sprinting to Bryson's side. "No, I'm not leaving him again!" Bryson's body pulsed with dark energy, his skin faintly glowing red along his veins. His voice was distorted, layered with something ancient.
"Leave me, Ethan, before it takes you too."
Ethan dropped to his knees, gripping Bryson's arm. "You fought your way back for a reason. Fight this too." Bryson's eyes flashed yellow and then briefly blue, his true self struggling to surface.
"I can't hold it."
A blast of force energy hurled Ethan into a stone pillar, cracking it in half. He gasped, blood trickling down his face as he struggled to stand. "Ethan!" Silver roared, catching him in the force to prevent another deadly impact. "You'll die if you keep this up!" But Ethan pushed Silver away. "He came back for us, Master. I'm not giving up on him." Ethan rushed forward again, placing his hand on Bryson's chest, channeling the light side directly into him. "Bryson, I'm here! You're you, not whatever this thing is!" The entity inside Bryson screamed through his mouth, its voice ancient and guttural.
"He is mine."
A surge of dark power erupted, flinging Ethan into the air and smashing him into the temple floor. His body crumpled, consciousness slipping away. "Ethan!" Bryson's real voice shouted from within, horror on his face as he briefly regained control. He crawled to Ethan's motionless body. "No, not again! I won't lose you too!" Silver stepped between them, saber up. "Bryson, whatever you brought back, we end it here!" Bryson looked up, eyes flickering between yellow and blue.
"No, I end it."
The temple shook harder, the voice from deep below roaring.
"Fight all you want. He is mine."
The temple groaned as its walls split open, entire sections collapsing into the abyss below. The voice of the entity inside Bryson echoed, shaking the air. "He is mine. This world is mine." Bryson dropped to his knees, clutching his head, his body flickering between human and something unnatural. "Master, take Ethan and go!" Silver glanced at his former Padawan, torn. "I won't leave you again, Bryson." Bryson looked up, eyes briefly flashing blue with his true self. "You already did. 10 years ago. Don't make the same mistake with Ethan." Silver turned to Ethan, unconscious but breathing. His ribs were bruised, one arm bent unnaturally from the impact. Silver knelt, placing a hand on his chest, using the force to stabilize his injuries. "Stay with me, Ethan," Silver muttered. He pulled Ethan over his shoulder, gritting his teeth. "I'm not losing you, too." Bryson staggered to his feet, darkness swirling around him. "Go, Master. I'll hold it off as long as I can." The entity within him laughed. "You think you control me? I am the one who freed you! Bryson roared, slamming both hands to the ground as a shockwave of dark energy ripped through the chamber, knocking Silver back toward the exit. Silver ignited his golden saber and swung it at falling debris, clearing a path. He sprinted through the crumbling hallway with Ethan on his back, every step echoing with the sound of Malachor tearing itself apart. Behind him, Bryson's screams and the entity's laughter blended into one haunting chorus. Silver reached the ship just as a massive spire collapsed behind them, sealing the temple. He placed Ethan in the co-pilot seat, activating the ship's engines. "Hang on, kid," Silver said, sweat dripping down his face as the ship lifted off. Through the viewport, the temple exploded inward, a massive column of crimson energy shooting into the sky. For a split second, Silver thought he saw Bryson, standing tall, eyes blue again, before being consumed by the blast. As they left Malachor's atmosphere, Ethan stirred weakly. "Bryson?" he whispered. Silver gripped the controls tighter, jaw clenched. "He's gone. Again." But in the Force, a faint whisper answered Ethan's call. "I'm not done yet." Beneath the ruins of the Malachor Temple, silence reigned, until a single breath echoed. From the smoke and debris, a figure emerged. It was Bryson. But not entirely. His skin, once pale from resurrection, now carried dark crimson veins glowing faintly beneath the surface. His eyes were no longer just yellow, they were black in the center, with rings of burning red. The voice of the entity inside him whispered with every breath, "We are one." Bryson looked at his hands, flexing them slowly. "What am I?" A mirror shard from the shattered temple floor reflected his altered face. His reflection smirked, even though he didn't. "You are power. You are my vessel." Bryson slammed a fist into the stone, shattering it. "Get out of my head!" The voice laughed. "We agreed, remember? You wanted life? I gave it to you." Outside the ruins, a team of scavengers approached the temple. "What happened here?" one asked, nervously, stepping over rubble. Bryson stepped out of the dust cloud, his head low. One scavenger raised his blaster. "Stay where you are!" Bryson's eyes flared red, and with a mere flick of his fingers, all three scavengers flew backward, bones snapping from the unnatural force. His voice, layered and chilling, echoed, "Leave this place." One survivor crawled backward, trembling. "What are you?" Bryson stared at him, and for just a moment his expression softened, the old Bryson fighting to break through. "I don't know." The entity inside him whispered again, pleased. "We are the end of Masters. We are the beginning of Dominion." Across the galaxy, Force users felt it. On Coruscant, Jedi Masters staggered, clutching their chests. "Something ancient has awakened," one whispered. On Korriban, Sith cultists fell to their knees, chanting Bryson's name, feeling his power ripple through the void. Even on Silver's ship, Ethan woke abruptly, gasping. "He's alive, but different." Silver stared at him. "What do you mean?" Ethan's voice shook. "He's not just Bryson anymore. There's something inside him, and it's powerful." Silver's hands tightened on the controls. "Then we stop him before it spreads." On Malachor, Bryson stood at the edge of the crater where the temple once stood. His eyes burned brighter, and his voice, two voices, spoke in unison. "They left me behind, but now they will kneel." He ignited his crimson saber, the blade now jagged and unstable, pulsing like a living thing. Behind him, the shadow of something massive and ancient flickered briefly, then vanished. Bryson smiled faintly. "Time to finish what I started." Bryson stood atop the shattered plateau of Malachor, the red lightning in his veins pulsing with unnatural rhythm. His voice, both his own and the entity's, echoed unnaturally across the wasteland.
Come to me, all who are lost. all who are broken.
The call was not just sound, it was force-born, spreading like wildfire through hyperspace. On distant Outer Rim worlds, exiled warriors, failed Jedi, and dark acolytes felt the whisper. On Korriban, Sith cultists looked up from their rituals and wept in awe. On Nar Shaddaa, mercenaries dropped their weapons mid-fight, staring into nothing before boarding ships for Malachor. Within a week, ships began landing on Malachor by the dozens. Pirates, bounty hunters, former Sith acolytes, and even Force-sensitive deserters. They gathered before Bryson, who now towered with unnatural presence, his unstable crimson blade ignited. One bold mercenary stepped forward. "Who are you to call us?" Bryson's eyes flashed black and red, and with a flick of his wrist, the mercenary was lifted into the air, his body twisting before hitting the ground lifeless. Bryson's voice rang out, a layered echo. "I am no master. I am no slave. I am the voice of power itself. Follow me, or be swept away." The crowd dropped to one knee. At night, Bryson stood alone, his reflection whispering from a pool of blackened water. "They are yours, my vessel. With them we will spread across the stars." Bryson clenched his fists. "We? No, they're mine." The voice chuckled. "You cannot separate yourself from me. I gave you life. You are me." For a moment, Bryson's eyes flickered blue, his old self. He whispered, "I'm doing this to protect them. Ethan, Silver, all of them." The entity hissed back, "Keep telling yourself that." Using his power, Bryson commanded his followers to raid shipyards and pirate caches. Soon, a fleet formed, jagged, crimson-painted vessels bearing a new sigil, a broken Jedi crest split by a red slash. He named them the Crimson Legion. From the bridge of his flagship, Bryson looked out at the growing fleet. "Silver," he whispered, eyes glowing. "You left me behind. Now you'll watch me take everything." In hyperspace, Silver and Ethan felt it, a chilling wave through the Force. Ethan gripped the edge of his seat. "He's coming, Master." Silver narrowed his eyes. "No, he's building something much worse."